Hello, welcome to another Digital Foyer. My name is Father Simon Lobo. I'm joined today by,
Peter Salah.
and we love doing these Digital Foyers because it's a great way for you to connect with us and get more of a personal sense of who we are, and it allows us to talk about different things in a different medium. Now, Peter is often on the other side of the camera, but we pulled him up front here to interview him. He's been Peter, how long have you been working here at the church?
I've been on staff since 2019, so 6 years,
Which
serving
is
for, I'm not going to tell them that that's a lot more years. Don't want
okay.
to age myself.
Amazing. We're
Been
so
around for a
grateful. And
while.
you've probably seen it. We've been posting for a new job, not because we want to get rid of this guy, but because he has another full time job and he's feeling the pinch. And so if you or anybody you know are interested in AV, let us know. And we also want to keep building up the team of people who serve and volunteer. So,
Yeah,
uh, so let us know. But
absolutely.
today we're here talking because not only are you an engineer and an AV guy, you're also married and you're a
Yes,
dad.
I am. I have two children, John, who's 5 years old, and a Christian, who's 2 years old. So I have a lot of experiences in my life. Keeps me busy.
I can only imagine that life is very full for you.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what is it like coming to Mass with those two cute little
Yeah.
guys?
So it's really interesting because with two children, and a lot of people will say kids have different personalities. I've seen both ends of it. So with John, the older one, when we would come to mass, I was so overconfident because come to mass, he's a good child. Just hold him in my arms, put his head in my shoulder, and we'd roll through mass. So then we had number two, and I thought it would be the same. But Christian has a lot of energy. He's pretty excitable, and he just loves to play. So getting through mass, I think the way I would relate it, you like doing activities like you did a triathlon or something. It's probably a little bit harder than that sometimes.
For the record, I have not done a triathlon, but I believe you that what you're trying to pull off is expending far more energy.
Yeah, so it can be a lot, but it's very fulfilling, and it's really important for us to bring the children to mass and get them comfortable here and comfortable with the building and the people and their traditions, and to come to know Jesus. So it's very important that we push through it and we come to mass regularly.
And I
Yeah.
applaud you, and I applaud all of you watching this who have young kids or who have gone through that phase of raising young children and bringing them to church. I can't even imagine what it's like. I mean, I'm just a celibate priest, but I've had lots of friends and of course lots of nephews and nieces who are even currently going through that phase, and it's busy. But we want to create this environment where it's safe to bring kids, where they can experience God and get to know Jesus in a personal way, that's
Yeah.
just normal.
Yeah.
It's something that right from a young age. And so thank you. That's the first thing I want you to hear. Thank you for making the effort.
Yeah.
With that, it can be really busy, and we've experienced lots of things. You probably experienced some of these things yourself, but kids sometimes they're getting rambunctious, they're starting to run around or scream, and sometimes they're they're being very vocal, singing when there's no songs being played, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
occasionally even things like they're taking crayons and drawing right on the pews, and there's been a couple times where a child has even been playing with the light switches or pulled a fire alarm, which comes at quite an expense, a false alarm like that. And so we want to just talk about that in an open way because again, this is normal. Life is chaotic. We love that there's so many children in our parish. But Peter, as a dad, what would be some of the words of wisdom that you'd
Yeah.
have to respond to this?
So the first thing I would say, and I should mention my beautiful wife Monica, who is very helpful and very patient. But very early when we had John, actually, I remember coming to mass, and again, John was always, and he still is a great kid. He's great in mass, but I think I was serving in the booth that week, and she was probably taking care of him. And we got to the end, and she felt embarrassed. She felt shy. Oh, he was making so much noise and this and that. And I said, Monica, I was up in the booth and I didn't hear him.
Right.
And if he wasn't being, say, obnoxiously loud, he's just babbling, and that's okay
Mm.
because you're surrounded by other young families. It's a growing, vibrant parish, and we love seeing kids. So you're not causing an issue. You're showing signs of life. So I said it's
Mhm.
great.
Amen.
So the first thing I say is don't be shy, and don't be embarrassed because everybody around you understands. And I have found that this parish is very supportive.
Mhm.
Being at I can relate actually to the 4 p.m. Saturday Sunday mass. We've been at those, and you're surrounded. It tends to be a bit of an older crowd at those masses,
Yeah.
and the looks of love that we
Mm.
get
Beautiful.
at our family, it's so warming, and it's really encouraging as a parent to know that you have these people around you that are supporting you, and they understand what you're going through. So my first advice is don't be shy.
Don't be shy. And I think
Yeah,
I think that's awesome, because the last thing I want is for people to feel timid, like I can't bring my kids to church, or I can't even come to church because I have children. That's not the message we want people to hear. Like come. and
yeah,
and those, I've heard some parishioners, even older parishioners, talk about those beautiful kind of gurgling noises that there is life, that we've got kids.
yeah,
So that's great.
absolutely. The
What else?
next
What
one,
else? Yeah.
though, and this is important for me, and sometimes I can be strict, but for me, it's been about setting boundaries.
Okay.
So setting boundaries with the children, what's acceptable to me, and what we can't let go, and also knowing your kids. So making sure for me that they can't just leave the pew. I don't let them run up and down the aisle. But again, knowing your kids, and especially with Christian because he's so active, is there'll be times where I know he needs to move.
Okay.
Somebody's homily is running a little bit long.
Okay, guilty.
And he's young, he's energetic. You don't get to like 80,000 steps a day by sitting. So I will bring him out. I'll bring him out in the foyer. We have the big glass window, the speakers are on. You can still participate in Mass, but hold his hand and let him walk around a bit and just shake the jitters. So for me, it is about knowing your kid. I wouldn't do that with John as much because I knew that he knew inside that once that's the way out, I'm going to do it every time. So know your kid.
So here we are. We're filming the
Yeah.
digital foyer, but actually, what you're saying is we're not in the foyer, but the actual foyer is great. It's a great space. It's big,
Yeah.
open, lots of light, and you can still participate in Mass through the glass, and have space for your kids to make a bit of noise and move around.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great space, and yeah, you're out with other kids. But for me, it is important to kind of keep them close because I don't want them to think they can play. And we're trying to get them used to Mass, and
Yeah.
we want to be reverent in Mass and
Absolutely.
respectful. So it's that balance that I'm trying to strike, and I don't say I've perfected it, but
Cool.
it's a work in progress. We'll get there. And I guess my last bit of advice is be patient. Be patient with your kids. You know, they're young. They're trying to understand. They're in this new space, or it's different than what they're used to. But also for all of the other parishioners, and this is what I've felt, is be patient with young parents because that little nod of support means a lot to the parent who is mid-marathon halfway through Mass. So it's a family effort. It's a community effort to raise these children in Mass, and everyone on board.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Let's be patient with everyone. We want our Masses here at St. Benedict to be a place for everyone, where everyone can participate, can engage, and really be blessed and grow in their relationship with Jesus. And I think we want, if I can even say this, we want a preferential option for parents with young kids. And if you see one of those families, go over, smile at them, give them a word of encouragement, because what they're doing is heroic. And so thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Bye.